Well, drummers. Welcome to this mini song lesson where I'm going to be teaching you the main parts, the best parts, the coolest parts from the absolute classic Limelight by Rush, drummed of course by the legendary Neil Peart. And I believe that's how you pronounce it, Peart. And I've got 4 pages of drum transcriptions for you, taking the main parts. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different sections. Of course that includes the little drum solos as well. The main grooves, the intro, etc, etc. And with these parts, you've basically got the whole song down. So click the link beneath this video, go over to my website, print out download and print out these PDF drum charts and have them out in front of you as we go through this lesson together. It's going to make things a lot easier to understand. And this song was suggested over on my Facebook page. And if you go over there right now, again, you'll find a link beneath this video. You'll see a post pinned to the top of the page where I ask for your song suggestions. Then others get to vote on them, and the more popular, the more likes a song suggestion gets, the more likely I am to do it in the future. Just like this lesson was suggested today. If you go over to my Facebook page, again, the link beneath this video, then you can make your own song suggestions as well. So we got the intro. And this is, like all Rush songs, an exploration of different time signatures. And the main theme for this song, the main time signatures being used, is a bar of 4 and a bar of 3. You could also think of it as a bar of 7. It doesn't really matter. But I'm feeling it as a bar of 4 and bar of 3. And you'll see that throughout this lesson that there's repeating ideas in 4s and 3s and 4s and 3s, alternating between the two. So we start off with the intro. Neil comes in at 10 seconds, and you just got to know where the downbeat is, because we're coming in on the and of beat 1 with a triplet on the double bass drum. Now I like to play it left, left, right because I'm left-footed. I've notated it as right, left, right. You can choose however you want to stick it, use whatever footing you like, but I like to play left, left, right. I just found playing triplets like that a lot easier for me than playing them single strokes. It's not as powerful, it doesn't sound as powerful, and I'm pretty sure Neil would probably play it single strokes, but I like to play it this way, so you can choose your own way. But anyway, we come in on the and of beat 1, 1 and 2, and we go straight into a flam on the floor tom. Now, another point, I've notated this for 4 toms in this lesson. I know Neil has like 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 rack toms in front of him, and then a load of other floor toms as well. So I've just done it for 4 toms, but I'll also talk about how perhaps you can play it just on 3 toms if you've only got a 3 tom set, or even 2 toms. You just got to spend longer on each tom. Anyway, I'm going to write that as a floor tom. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're playing the backbeat on the floor tom. Second bar, we go in back to the bass drum, 1 and 2. But then we get 1 and 2 and then I've written it as that tom. It could be that tom, it doesn't matter. 3 and then a choked crash cymbal on the E of beat 4 for E and a 1. We're going to then go into a crash cymbal after that on the beat 1 for E and a 1. So it kind of has a very weird sort of wet effect where the stabs fall in a strange place you're not expecting. So the first 2 bars, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E1. Then we're into our first groove, and this is where the 4-3-4-3 comes in. And Neil's on record as saying he wanted to maintain the backbeat like it was in 4-4. He's just playing over the bar. Now I could have written that all of this in 4-4, but I wanted to show you how the melody is sort of shifting underneath it. So I decided to write it as 4-3. Or, like I said, I could have written it as a bar of 7, or you could write it as just a 4-4 bar all the way through, and it sort of goes across in a weird way. Anyway, I've chosen it this way. It doesn't really matter how you notate it or count it, it's just how you play it. So, we've got the first bar, nice simple stuff really. Open hi-hats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we go into our bar of 3-4, which is just simply 3 beats in the bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Then we go back to 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go into our bar of 3, 1 and 2, 3 and. Now we start to see how the backbeat sort of goes over the bar. Next line, bar of 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bar of 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Bar of 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. and then a drum fill in the bar of 3 at the end. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. You could play 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. I just start on the highest tom and then go down 4 here, 2, 2. So those two lines, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Or 1 in that case. So let me play it up to speed for you properly now, without the microphone on, without me yakking on over the top so you can hear just the drums. Here we go. So this next section occurs at 26 seconds, and now the time signature is really being well hidden. We're still feeling it, I'm still feeling it as 4-3, 4-3, but the second line I've written it all as 4-4 because the backbeat sort of lines up nicely. You'll see what I mean in a second. So first line we get 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and then the bar of 3, 1 and 2 and 3. He goes into, I believe, this tom, it could be the lowest, it doesn't really matter what you choose, but the hi-hat closes with that 3. 1 and 2 and 3, we get and 3 with the bass drum and right hands. Then back to 4, 1, and he skips over the and, he comes back in on beat 2 with the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Bar of 3, 1 and 2, 3. Same idea with the floor tom and bass drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Then the next line, we just got all bars of 4-4. The backbeat stays on 2 and 4 nicely. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And then 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 2 choked crash cymbals on beat 3 and 4, 3 and 4. And then to make it add up correctly, I've added a bar of 2-4 at the end. 1 and 2 and it's an offbeat crash cymbal, and he does this every time he goes into the double hand hi-hat section. It's always the upbeat of the note before. You're playing on the upbeat of the last bar. So that second line, just before I move on, just to explain one more time to you, I could have written it as 4-3, 4-3, 4-3, and it would have added up nicely, but I just thought I'd show you two different ways you could notate it. The first line in 4-3, 4-3, then the second line is just all bars of 4-4. So it shows that it doesn't really matter how you notate it, it's how you play it. Okay, let me play those two lines for you up to speed. So page 2 of the notation, 39 seconds, we go into this double-handed hi-hat part, and it's very much 4-3, 4-3. You can really feel it. We're playing double-handed hi-hat drum beats with the bass drum pumping on all 4 beats and in all 3 beats for the bar of 3-4. But we're starting on the and of beat 1 because the previous bar was that upbeat crash cymbal on the and of 2, if you remember. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and then skip over beat 1. Neil comes in on the and of beat 1, 1 and 2 E and up. You could play 1 and 2, but I think Neil just plays it one hand. 1 and 2, and then he goes into the double-handed hi-hat thing. And we're just opening the hi-hat on the and each time. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Into the bar of 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and. You can see it's 2 and 3 on the snare drum. And then the next line, bar of 4 again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then the bar of 3, 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a. Use your rack toms for this because you want to come back down to the snare drum. 1, 2 E and 3 E and and underneath that the bass drum is still pumping. So let me just play this up to speed. It's relatively simple that. So let's hear those two lines up to speed. So that 101, we start to go into a halftime fill. The tempo hasn't changed. The snare drum backbeat is just dropping back And this whole section is in 3. So we've got 4 bars of 3. And Neil's doing some fancy jazzy stuff with his right hand on the ride cymbal. The first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and. Second bar, 1 is now on the and of beat 1, he does the jazzy thing. 1 and a 2 and 3 and. Same for the third bar, 1 and a 2 and 3 and. And then every 4th bar of this section, we get this China effect on the and of beat 1. 1 and, I'm going to use a crash, 1 and 2 and a 3 and. This with a single pedal probably, he plays 2 and a 3 and. So those 4 bars, 1 and 2 and a 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 1. And all 4 bars up to speed. So at 1 minute 22, I wanted to include this section because it shows you how to go into that jazzy 3/4 ride cymbal section. There are sections of the song, like we just heard, where it's all in 3, and then there's also sections of the song where it's all in 4, especially towards the end of the song. So here we got just a section that's all in 4, and I'll give you the last 2 bars of it. We play all the bass drums underneath, filling in the gaps of the snare drum beat, backbeat on 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Second bar, 1 and 2 and 3 into a flam on the snare drum where the hi-hat closes, 3, and then we get and 4 and 1. He plays and 4 and 1. 4 crash cymbals in a row. He uses 2 different crash cymbals. If you've only got 1, don't worry, and 4 and 1, it'll work just as well. It won't sound the same, but you can use 1 crash cymbal, of course. Then we go into the 3/4 section, which is very similar to the previous example, except the jazzy bits, the jazzy bits falling on the and again still, but we got this snare and crash accent on beat 3 every time. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and. It ends with 3 and, a flam on the and of beat 3 there. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3 and. So let's hear both those lines together. So at 1 minute 52, we get the first example of this subdivision mix where he's gone from 16th notes to 16th note triplets. The first bar is just the groove going into it. Again, this is a 4/3/4/3 section. So we get 1E and 2 and 3 and 4 and same drum beat we've covered previously in this lesson. Then we go into the 3/4 section, 1 and, so we get 2 bass drums there, 1 and, then come down to the snare drum to play 2E and then up to 16th note triplets, 3 ta and ta. So with 16th notes we get 4 per beat, with 16th note triplets we get 6 per beat, so you have to increase the rate of the notes to fit them in evenly. That's how subdivisions work. 1 and 2E and 3 and 1. 1 and 2E and 3 and 1. So let's hear those 2 bars up to speed. So there, 2 minutes 08, we've got another 4/3 section, and I included the first bar just to show you how you go into it, but it's really the drum fill in the 3/4 that I want to do. A really nice sparse drum fill for Neil. But the first section, I think it's coming from another upbeat crash cymbal at the beginning of the last bar. So we come in on the and of beat 1. Neil skips over beat 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and simple stuff. And then to the bar of 3, 1, and I believe he closes the hi-hat on the and of beat 1. I haven't notated it. You can choose to close the hi-hat wherever you like. I'll close it on the and of beat 1. 1 and 2, highest tom, flam, and 2, next lowest tom, and then lowest tom. If you've got 4, great. If you haven't, just stay on this tom. 3E and. So and 3E and 3E and. Beat 3 is skipped over. 1 and 2 and 3E and. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3E and 1. I thought that was a lovely little drum fill there. So let's hear that up to speed. Okay, so things will get a little bit more complicated now. We then go into what I felt as a 6/4 section. You can think of it as 2 bars of 3, but the way the snare drum falls on beat 4 of the 6/4, it made sense to notate it in bars of 6 rather than 2 bars of 3. Anyway, it would be exactly the same played either way, you notated it, but we talked about that. So I'm filling it in bar of 6, and we get this ride cymbal, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we get 5 and 6 ands into the next bar, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 1. All those bass drums on the and there, starting on the and. Notice again the snare drum backbeat on beat 4. Next line, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5 and 6 and. So exactly the same as the bar above it, but without the crash cymbal. Then we get a bit trickier. 1, 2, and 3, and straight after that, he then moves into 8th notes with the right hand. 1, 2, and 3, and a 1. Or into beat 4, sorry. 1, 2, and 3, and a 1. And up to the bell of the ride cymbal, and a 1 and 2. And then we get this iconic, unique Neil Peart type of ride cymbal pattern. He plays it in so many different songs, and here we get another example of it. Classic. From the and a beat 5, and a 6E. And, sorry, I missed the bit before. It's 4 and 5, then and a 6E. It's like a linear pattern here. And a 6E and a 6E and a 1. Just one more bell on beat 1 of the next line. So 1, 2, and 3, and a 1. I counted properly, sorry. 1, 2, and 3, and a 4, and 5, and a 6E and a 1. It's up, and a 6E and a 1. And a 6E and a 1, 2, and 3, and a 4, and 5, and a 6E and a 1. Almost went to the crash cymbal there. It's actually just staying on the ride cymbal. Then we go into the next line where we get 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 5 and a 6 and, sorry, I missed the ride cymbal there. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a 5 and a 6 and lots of those little groups of 3 there with the ride cymbal hands. Last bar, 1 and a 2 and 3, and then up to, I'm going to say this tom, it could be that tom, it doesn't really matter which tom you start on. We play anta to 4, a set of 16 note triplets, anta to 4, and snare and crash on the and a beat 4. Next lowest tom, 5 to and, that's hard to count, 5 to and then 6 and 1. It's a quiet cymbal on the and a beat 6, but I think it's there. It could just be 6 and 1, but if you watch Neil play it live, he likes to play 6 and 1. So that's what I think he was going for. So let me just play that up to speed for you. All 3 bars, here we go. So at 3 minutes, we get our first like miniature drum solo from Neil. And it's all in bars of 3, within the section in 3. It starts with the ride cymbal, because he's from the previous section. 1 and, start on your highest tom, 2E and a 3E, 2, 2, 1, and that crash cymbal again, used again throughout the song, crashing on the E of beat 3 in an unexpected place. 1 and 2E and a 3E, so your left hand's going to play that crash cymbal. 3E and a 1. Then we get the first example of this drum fill that Neil uses again at the end of the song as well. It's 32nd notes, just a group of 5 played single stroke. You could play it as double stroke, but Neil doesn't, and it sounds more powerful if you play it as a single stroke. 1 and 2 and 2E and 2E. So you want to get that pattern down. 1 and 2E and 3E and 2E and 3E and then 1. Then we're going to go, I'm going to go to the next, my second lowest tom. 1 and 2E, exactly the same pattern we had before but just up here. And 2E. Then we just go down the toms. and 3 E and. If you haven't got this, Tom, you could play and 3 E and then 1. And then this is cool. On the video of the song, he's playing it up in front of him, but it actually sounds like he's playing it on the floor tom. So it doesn't really matter which tom you use. I'm going to use this one like I saw Neil do in the video. It just feels more comfortable playing it in front of me like this. But we're playing and 2 E and with the double bass drum at the same time. And 2 E and 2 E and 3 and 1. And 2 E and 3 and 1. It's a lot of fun. Let me just play that slowly for you, all 4 bars. So we get 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 1. And now up to speed. So at 3 minute 47, he's done this idea in previous parts of the song where you're playing in 4 and he moves the snare drum around in interesting places. But I thought this was quite unique, the way he throws it completely. He's playing the backbeat on the and of beat 1 and the and of beat 3 and continues into the second bar. So all of a sudden the backbeat on 2 and 4 has been moved, but we're still feeling it in 4. He's on the open hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and he's snare and crashing there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and next bar 1 and 2 and then he resolves it, brings it back down to the normal backbeat if you like, 3 and 4 and 1. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And up to speed. So then finally it's 4:02, we get probably the bit you're all looking forward to the most, that little drum solo he does at the end of the song. Again featuring some lovely classic Neil Peart ideas as we see on the second line. The first bar, we get that grouping of 5 30-second notes, 4 30-second notes followed by 2 16th notes idea again. Up to your highest tom, 2 E and Then this bit, and it doesn't really matter what toms you use, but you want to make sure that snare drum pops out on the and of beat 3 to make it sound like the recording. So I've notated it's 3 E and 3 E and then we go 4 E and 1 and. So 3 E and 4 E and 1. The second bar, this is quite hard to hear, but again, watching the video, you get an idea of how the way Neil played it. 1 and 2 E and then we're going to play, I've written it as single bass drum pedal, but I'm on the double pedal, so I'm going to use it as double pedal. 2 E and 2 E and we're playing and 3 evenly spaced notes, starting on the and of beat 2, going into beat 3. By the way, as you'll see in a second, the right hand is just playing 8th notes on the floor tom. It's the left hand that's doing all the extra work, and of course the bass drum. So 2 E and he then comes down to the snare drum to play 3 E and that E is slightly quieter. I've written it as a ghost note, it doesn't have to be so quiet. You could play 3 E and, but he plays a bit quieter, 3 E and, so we do get like a more subtle snare drum note on beat 3, 3 E and again with the and drum fill, bass drum lick. And then the same idea for beat 4, but up here I've written it here, it could be here, doesn't matter. It's 4 E and 4 E and Again, that E of beat 4 was quite hard to hear. I think it's a ghosted tom note that he's playing. And again, if you watch the video, you can see him ghost flat accent tap beat 4. So that's quite a weird one. 1 and 2 E, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. 4 E and 1. Then we get this really cool bit, and it sort of slowly starts to slow down. It's not really staying with the metronome for this quad pattern, but for the sake of simplicity, I'll be playing it in time. He plays 1 and I had to look at the video to see the grouping of toms he's playing. He's playing 1, and these are 30-second notes, 2 E, and that just repeats. 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 3 here, 3 here, however you want to see it, but it's basically starting on 2 in a bar of 4 going all the way. By the way, if I haven't mentioned it already, this last section's all in 4. So 1 and 2 I think I got that wrong. 1 and 2. Yeah, coming out of it was a little bit tricky. I memorised it by coming out with it when I've played the last time is this one. So, and then following that last bar, 1 we start to slow down. They've written above it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and a little wash at the end before going into some fast 30-second notes around the toms, and then ending with at the end of the song. So let me play those 4 bars slowly, and then I'm going to play up to speed for you. And I'll try and count out loud at the same time. 1 E, 1 E, 1 E. I'm going to keep this mistake in because this is tricky trying to read it off the page. Let me just try and do it without counting to start off with. Okay, that was it. I was sort of feeling it in my head. So let me now play for you up to speed properly. Here we go. So I hope you had fun with that. I had a lot of fun with that. I enjoyed transcribing it and I enjoyed playing it for you. Some really cool licks in that song. If you've got any questions about any of that, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And don't forget to download all 4 pages of the PDF if you haven't already. It is free. It's from my website. You can find a link beneath this video. And you might well consider, while you're over at my website, becoming an online member. And what I currently offer for $97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And that's coming up to almost 500 famous and popular songs, where unlike this lesson, I teach you the entire song from start to finish. Every single bar is included. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart with each of the full song lessons. And like I said, I've got almost 500 famous and popular songs up on the website already. I've got a load of Rush stuff up there as well, some free lessons, some notations. You'll find it all on the website. As a thank you for signing up, I'll give you access to even more, give you hundreds of little videos teaching you many, many famous drum beats, fills and solos, some of which feature Neil Peart. And as well as that, I give you 3 ebooks containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills and solos, again including some Rush stuff. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. And if you want to make your own song suggestions, then please go over to my Facebook page. You'll see the link, the post at the top of the page. Okay, so until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.